Okay, I'm going to call the Frankfurt Redevelopment Commission to order. Roll call, please.
Joe Palmer.
Present.
Chris Potter.
Present.
John Virtue. Eric Woods.
Present.
Bud McQuaid.
Here. Everybody get a chance to look at the minutes?
Make a motion to approve the minutes. I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Abstain.
One abstention. Any public comments? Kimberly, you are on. Kimberly Black.
Good evening. Wanda, can you pass these around? We have had some safety concerns at Prairie Creek Park, across Prairie Creek Park, and some ADA requirements. So I'm glad Don's here so he can kind of talk about those. We are looking at replacing, or would like to ask to have the parking lot next to High Tech Label with some curbs and ADA ramps, and then the sidewalk. The sidewalk is pretty busted up on the other side. I think a lot of cars think that it's parking spots. But what we want to do is to put crosswalks between the entrance by the ticket booth that goes across to the parking lot and the sidewalk on the other side of Washington Street, and then across from the splash pad to the other side of the street on that side. We have a lot of vehicular traffic. I feel that it has picked up since State Road 28 was closed for a period of time. I don't know if now everybody just uses that way or we just have more traffic coming in, but would like to have some designated crosswalks for families and kids to get across Washington Street and not have to go all the way up to Jackson, or just cross randomly here, there, across Washington Street. So was asking, I know that you guys are doing some sidewalk work and didn't know if this is something that you would be interested in. Kind of beautification of that area and also safety at the same time. Compost construction, when we were at the Raices Festival, I asked her about getting a quote put together just to kind of see where we're at, and here's the estimate for the sidewalk and the two ADA ramps for the crosswalk, and it is $11,000, and you can pass that around. So I asked Joe if I could bring this evening, and he said sure. So wanted to get your thoughts and opinions. According to ADA, we can't just have a crosswalk go into nowhere land. So that's where the ADA curb and entrance and exit from the crosswalk would be.
To meet ADA, do we put a crosswalk in? You have to have some sort of traffic control device there?
We've actually talked about that, Bud. I told her to look into that where they can, just like they hit the button and it has a light that flashes.
Yeah.
At that point. I think she's gonna work on that after.
I just know that Indianapolis at the time, because that could change, they had designed a crosswalk off of a street and take it across without any type of traffic control. And we had to stop that because without having a stoplight or something to designate that this is a crosswalk.
I know on State Road 28 they put the pedestrian signs, like pedestrian
Yeah.
crossing, but you can talk on that.
That's what the dimpled paths are for, to signify that you're at a stop sign and it's a crosswalk. So
But not to the drivers.
So
not to the drivers.
I don't know that would be an ADA requirement.
But
That might be a
if they line the crosswalk,
separate statute.
It may be, but I'm just saying you're giving the false, in my opinion, you're giving a false impression that it is a controlled crossing.
No, I would agree with you, and I'm thinking that is probably somewhere else in state statute, not necessarily the ADA
Well, it may not be,
But-
but I'm just
Right,
saying.
right, which we should probably take a look at.
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks.
we should probably take a look at that.
Yes.
If you'll look that up for us, you know, and I thought, as many people that leaves at the end of a concert going across to the parking lots over there, it would be nice at night to have something that's, they can hit the button and it blinks.
Well, we could probably use those ones that we've got with the, it's, you know, what, solar powered. Just flashes that, you know,
You say I'll put on stop signs?
yeah, well, you do put on stop signs, but you can probably put on any sign that you wanted. And a crossing would probably be effective.
With regard to the high-tech label parking lot, are they okay with it always being used for events?
So I usually ask,
Dan?
thank you. I was gonna say Scott, and that's not his first name, that's his last name, for permission to use that. They do, have an agreement with Nickel Plate Flats as well, with that parking lot. But yes, if there's a large festival, hot dog festival, Raices, we know we're gonna have a large concert, I reach out to him. Cause every once in a while he'll do like a family function or something like that, and he'll close the parking lot off, so, but, the parking lots are also, or the parking spots are also used on, Washington, on Washington Street on that side as well.
Yep.
With it being towards the end of the season, I think we need to look into what Bud's talking about with some type of light. And maybe table this until we get that. I
Absolutely.
don't think we're gonna get it in before the end of the season here anyway. I don't know what you've got left down there this year.
I have one, more concert on November 4th.
November?
Or no, I'm so sorry. October 4th. I've been in a lot of meetings today, and we're talking about year-end stuff, so I'm shocked I didn't say December. October 4th, with Bob Seger's tribute band and AC/DC. So
Probably couldn't get it done before then anyway, so.
no, this would be something either before the weather turns or beginning
I
of.
think there needs to be something else.
Okay.
Some type of electronic, thing. And then I think I'd be in favor of doing that.
Okay.
And
I
I'd
can.
like to see a mapping, maybe pull a beacon map and draw out exactly where this is gonna go.
Okay. Yep.
Do you have anything else, Kimberly?
I do not.
Okay. Any questions for Kimberly? Even though she's gone.
Well, I'm in the room. I'm not leaving.
Okay. Claims. Everybody's had a chance to look at them. I will say on the one for the county annex, they did pay for all the sidewalk except for they had poured a new section over down towards the power box meter bases and stuff. And for us to be able to put that light in the center, they had to tear that back out and lay all the new conduit and stuff through there. So that is the reason that we have this bid, was on us and not the county, so.
Is any of this being torn out right now,
On what?
uptown?
No.
It's not.
The only thing that's tore out, the county's doing in front of the annex building, which was poured wrong to begin with.
None of the
there.
conduit areas that we were.
Nothing up there is ours from this point on, so. We did vote, last meeting, I believe you was absent, Eric, but, to start pursuing bids for 26 on, part of it is Washington Street, both east and west of Main. So, not the county annex building, but from about Arnie's down to the corner.
So you guys already voted on doing that?
We got permission at the last meeting to start proceeding with getting some bids on it. Not doing it, but just getting bids.
And so in front of Arnie's down to Heather's?
Yes.
And then what's the other direction?
The other direction will be to the west, removing the steel poles. Not all that concrete necessarily is gonna be removed, but there, if you look at the south side of Main, or Washington, it's all chopped up and the way it directs down through there, so,
Is that putting ornamental lights in as well?
yes, yes. So any other questions? I just wanted to tell you what that one was and why it's there, so.
Make a motion to approve the claims.
Okay, have a motion
Second.
and a second to approve the claims. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Claims passed. Okay, new business. I was contacted or had discussions twice today about, the Salvation Army, has outgrown their area down there. There is a possibility that that will be coming up for sale. I was asked if we would be interested, so I wanted to bring it before the board tonight to see what the pleasure is of the board, whether we wanna possibly look into that. They're gonna relocate somewhere else, I believe, right, Don?
Yeah, can I talk just a little bit?
Sure, come on up here, please.
I think the main reason why, if it was Shan who had talked to you about this, about the possibility of getting it in friendly hands, we have a developer that is putting together a very massive building plan, housing plan that will basically on the east end of town. And we usually meet with him almost on a weekly basis to discuss the process and all the things that are going on. He's also overseeing Tony Del Rio's project. And this week he brought in a remnants of, because in our conversation we had started talking about the Salvation Army property. So he brings in a drawing of what the potential could be in that area with new structure, which would be retail establishments on the first floor, a potential second or third floor, depending on how you want to go, living, and starting at the house just west of the dry cleaning establishment. We would encourage to try to purchase the grocery store and the storage facility, and to put this start of the process of redoing Washington Street a little bit. I know also that we're in kind of a discussion with buyers of the Winsky potential move there that could occur. And so it's kind of the start of a redevelopment of the West Washington Street, and also then adding the ability to make your downtown a little bit longer. So I just wanted to say that's probably the reason why this is coming to you about the potential of trying to get that property into friendly hands. There's a lot of it down there, and a lot can be done.
I have a question for you. A few years ago, and I know Eric would remember too, that was all dedicated as a blight area all the way down through there. Does that still stand?
Boy, I don't know that, Joe.
Okay.
I don't know that. It'd be nice to know that, though.
You might look into it, because at one time it was given as a blight area. I know Les was the attorney at that time, so.
Yeah, he'd be a good source to start.
Yep.
I'll check with Bliss. I just wanted to bring that up, that we've already started discussing the potential of what can go in down there to increase retail in the downtown area.
That being said, who's got a map of the TIF allocation area? Where's the west boundary of our TIF area?
That's a good question.
The Columbia?
If it's in your downtown historic district, then if it's in your house downtown, the historic district stops on the east side of Columbia Street. So I don't know if that's where the TIF district
The
starts.
TIF district ran all the way at one time. The Roundhouse was in the TIF district. I believe Winsky's was in the TIF district. Do you have a map on that?
I'll have to, I don't know if I have the TIF area, or the TIF district. I have the historic one, but I don't know if I have.
It'd probably be real helpful for the members of the RDC to know
I
what our
agree.
TIF district is.
Yeah.
I'm working on pulling it up, hold on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know
On
Les
Beacon?
had a copy at one time.
I don't think it's on Beacon.
Because I couldn't find it.
There is a,
What charges to get it?
Summary on, here it is.
I guess, the reason I bring that up, I think we got a lot of plates spinning when it comes to comprehensive plans, downtown revitalization, redevelopment projects, potential, residential, retail developments, as Don has talked to a couple of groups. I fear that in waiting for one report to be completed through the city with the comp plan, we may be playing second fiddle here. What is the way that we can all kind of come together on this and determine some kind of a footprint that we would like to see down there? Because I think it has to jibe with whatever the comp plan comes up with, or I'm sorry, whatever the city comes up with the comp plan really needs to match redevelopment. I don't think we've done anything, Joe, Joe, I don't think you were on it. The revitalization plan with Shaver goes back to what, 2013?
The original one, I believe, did into Columbia, but we made some adjustments to that, and I don't know if we did anything on that area or not.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, the same reason I brought it up with the city, we have an outdated comp plan. I'm gonna guess we got an outdated redevelopment plan too. And I think we can wrap this all into one big effort and just put the right people on these committees and, start getting these good. I know Don needs help. He needs guidelines and mapping and overlays so that when he's talking to people, he can speak, yes, this is what the city wants. Am I speaking correctly there, Don? Rather than one group saying yes, one group saying no. I think we just need to come together on that. So I'd really like the RDC to, consider getting involved with that comp group. So I assume, Kimberly, we're looking at what, another month or so on that grant application?
Yes, it should open, November 1st or November 5th, and I have 10 days, it'll close, November 15th.
And this will be awarded in the springtime?
It should be awarded either December or January, and we can start, as soon as we get the notification.
Well,
It's a quick turnaround here.
I think with the RDC's consensus, we can say that, Joe can work with the mayor on that and see if there's avenues of coming together and just have a, kind of a separate RDC wing of the comp plan. We don't have to reinvent the wheel.
And I agree with you that it needs to jibe with, both of them need
And-
to jibe together, so.
And that may bring about changing the TIF district or the redevelopment plan that allows us to spend money in certain areas. The comp plan may tell us we need to do that. Because I like the idea of buying the Salvation Army property. I hate that we can't get the dry cleaners. I'd like to know, what all can be gotten, and then we all talk about what a plan would be and how much money we gotta find to make it happen. So, and if you don't mind, Joe, I'll just go into my next topic. I was gonna bring up a new business. If this data center would end up coming in, the amount of money that the RDC would have because of that is, well, the biggest windfall we would ever have gotten. We're gonna need a rock solid plan on how to spend that for the benefit of the community.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was discussed today with us, so.
Yeah, I expected to see a report tonight. I thought Reedy was gonna have something for us. The mayor may
Reedy,
have held that back.
no, we did. We did meet, today, John and I, with, Reedy and, Wanda, and, the mayor was there. We did make some proposed changes to the budget. However, Gary will be here at October's meeting with a resolution that we have to have for the state, in reference to, and go over the budget with everybody. And then we, at that point, can approve it or not approve it, or add or remove, whatever you wanna do at that point. We just have to have it approved by December 1st.
Is that something
So-
we maybe could have a work session on as an entire commission?
Can.
But before the date we have to approve it,
Yeah.
have a longer meeting that day where we can
Yep.
just go through it all?
I think my comment today was, you know, when we have our meeting and you bring us up to speed, this was Gary, that, you know, the board may choose to have other places that they wanna increase, decrease, whatever, so.
And, you know, to be frank, I don't think we're talking about 2026.
Right.
We're talking about 27, 28.
If you did not catch, I said I really, our proposed budget for 26 increased almost 1.8 million for next year. And, at the time, he wasn't sure how Senate Bill 1 was gonna affect us. It has not affected us, and, I think there was, have you got anything to add?
No?
He just said that there was, several things that's went in, inventories and equipment and properties and stuff like that, the increases is what's increased for us, so.
He said the Frito, the real property, and the Frito expansion was large, and that he doesn't expect a lot to change when the tax bills go out, although it could be altered some, but not a significant amount, and so he was comfortable putting those numbers in. But he plans to be here on October 30th to go over the comprehensive plan, get the resolution, and make any changes after he updates this, so.
Yeah, I do have a question for you, Joe. You said to increase 1.8 million. Is that including what we already get, or that's plus?
That's plus.
So we're gonna have
As of right
almost
now,
$3 million,
yes.
yeah.
We'll know more at the end of
Right,
October.
I'm just trying to get that straight.
Yes.
I mean, that's,
We actually
Pretty healthy move.
have a potential of going from, 2.4 million up to 4.2 million, so.
okay.
So did you guys discuss a pretty big increase in property acquisition budget?
Actually,
We raised it from
You only raised it
5,000 to
100, yeah.
yeah, on property, we raised it up to 600,000. And then, we increased, the, what was it? Sidewalk project. We increased it an additional 100,000 there.
And you increased the lighting,
The
and then
lighting.
there's a $250,000 future project, which is just sort of a catch-all for something that might come up, and we have not spent that this year, and then there's discussion on if you guys want to increase that. He was going to talk to you about it. Which that could fall under that if necessary, if you ran short in the other area. But do you see that special project, or future projects, 2025, that's not been touched? So he was gonna push that forward, and then collectively check with you guys on if you need anything additional in that. Unless something comes up, I don't foresee you spending that this year. Like, not this late in the game, anyway.
I don't see it.
So the pass-through calculation goes up quite a bit, and we're safe up to what, 200? Before we have to pass it through?
For your information, it does not look like the Salvation Army is within our TIF district.
Okay.
I didn't get a map, but they have a list of all the parcel numbers, and looking through that list, which is on my phone, but looking through that list, it doesn't look like that parcel is included in that TIF
Does
district.
it stop at Columbia Street?
I don't know.
I,
I don't have a map, so I'd have to find a parcel that was on Columbia Street and look it up by parcel,
I
so.
know Columbia Street is included because we paid money out on that, in that area. Mm-hmm. But I thought it ended there.
That might be, but there is on Gateway, there is a list of all of the parcels that are in our TIF district. So if there's a specific parcel that you want to look up on a computer, it'd be a lot easier because I could just use Control F and find it. But they're in order by parcel number, and I scrolled through and I didn't see that one on there.
So in order for us to acquire that building, we would have to change the plan a little bit.
Correct.
I'd have to amend it to pick them up, so,
Rich Starkey's office should have that map. They're the ones that did it, right?
yes.
Yes, they should, because they're the ones that took care of doing all the legal work for that. We may have it, but I'd have to talk to Les and see if I could find it.
I'm gonna say, I'm sure Les has got it,
Somewhere.
so.
We should
I
have
can
a
call
copy of
Rich
it,
tomorrow
but-
and talk to him, that's not a problem, so,
That'd be good to
yeah.
We should have a copy of it, so we'll go on the hunt for it as
Okay.
well. But we'll get a copy of it, and then we can also have it added to Beacon. The county can add it to Beacon, so we'd have an easy reference for it anytime.
Okay, any other new business? Let's go down to old business. I know you come up, talked on, but.
Pass that around. It's been a busy week for me in the office, and so it has a tendency for me to wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and start trying to figure out the direction that I'm going to go for the day. And so today's direction leaned towards the property on North Main Street that we've all been talking about trying to get ourselves in the hands of. You've actually put a proposal out for the property, the potential purchasing it, and we're not getting a lot of a response back from one of the owners that are out of state. So I thought that today would be a good day, since it's a RDC meeting, to come in and say, I think we've pretty much had enough of this. This is a lot of the information on the property. They actually came before you back in, I think it was April of '23, with a proposal to actually fix the front of the building and everything that was wrong with it as far as facade-wise. And but it doesn't show here about how it all came to conclusion. I know we talked, and John, you can talk about that in a little bit. But I think that we've gone long enough trying to get to some type of an agreement on getting the building looked after. So I would like permission from you guys, or from the board here, to hire an engineering firm. We usually use KJG to come in and do an analysis or a study of the building. I have access to get inside. She's given me that a while back, and so I can get the engineer inside to be able to look completely at the building, to make a decision on whether or not the building is a building that should be torn down, or if it's a building that can be refurbished. I've got a letter ready to go out to them, basically stating that, hey, we're going to do a study. The city's getting ready to do a study on your property. We're going to check to see if it has some issues or if it's rebuildable. When we get the report back, then the proposed money that the RDC was going to give for your property will go away. And we will either do one of two things. We'll either move forward with the demolition of the building through whatever court action we have to take, or if the report comes back that the building can be refurbished, then we're going to force action upon that also. I think that we have enough ordinances and information for the city that we can make it happen one way or another. Now, it would be, for me, a lot simpler if the building came back that it needed to be taken down. It makes my job a lot easier than to try to deal with somebody out of state and trying to get things accomplished on a refurbished building. So I guess I just need your permission. And then I want to say that my office doesn't have the funding to take care of the engineering firm of this. And when we did a building or a house on Barner Street earlier this year in an engineering firm, it cost about $600. So, you know, it's going to be at least that, probably maybe a little more, maybe the size of the building. And I guess I just want to make sure that maybe the RDC can pick that tab up. So basically, we can move forward one way or another on the building.
The thing you were talking about in 2023, that they had put in an estimate for a facade grant from John Reed. I think it was 17 or 18,000.
Almost 18.
We didn't take any action on that. At the time, I just, first of all, they wouldn't even begin to take care of that building. And it felt like we're throwing good money after bad, so we just tabled it. As far as the engineer, if we make a proposal that we appropriate $1,000, up to $1,000 for an engineer, you feel like that would take care of it?
I think that should. I would hope that it would.
Are you aware, right now, there's one of those windows, I went by there earlier today, window completely out, and anybody can go in and out of that building right now.
No, I didn't. I tried to go by the building maybe every other month to take a look at it just to make sure. And a lot of that has to do because, as we all know, the parapet wall is peeling off of the front. And I believe the only thing that keeps it from falling is the rubber roof, the rubber roof that's attached to it. So I do try to keep tabs on that building just to make sure that nothing's gotten wider or worse on the facade side. But I'll go by. They're responsible to make sure that the building's secure.
About halfway down the alley, I mean, I guarantee there's people going in and out of there.
Now, that's been a challenge that we had them fixed with the screen wire and stuff that was in it, but I'll go down and make sure of that.
I was gonna say, I actually seen either a body going in or going out
No kidding.
here about 2 weeks ago.
All right. I'll do it.
He
I'll
was
put it
kinda
on my
hanging on
to-do
the
list.
ledge, so I don't know if he's going in or out, but he was there.
Well, a sight to be seen. But I'll look at that. Thanks for informing me that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it had been, I don't know, a couple of years since I'd driven down there and walked that building. I thought, I'm gonna go see that today, and it's pretty bad. I mean, the amount of work on that building is incredible it would take to fix that up.
Our previous action was to put in a low enough bid that we could afford to tear it down, right? That's what
Yeah.
we-
Your bid was
Yeah,
not
it was, your goal was to keep it in the area of about $50,000. And when the bids came in for the tear down and your appraisals came in from the two appraisers, it actually worked itself out to be
Yeah, it was real
$20,000
close to
for the appraisal, which then allows you enough money for one of the bids to be able to take the building down, so.
But you believe this appraisal is a necessary tool to move forward?
It has to,
Not
because
going anywhere otherwise?
we don't have the ability, we'd have to take it to court.
So if we want to tear it down, the process is that we would have to take it to court to do that. In order to prove that it needs torn down, we have to have an engineering firm say so. So what I always recommend is before, I got burned on this before, so Les had filed one like 3 or 4 years ago and didn't have the engineering firm come in first, and then after he had filed, he had the engineering firm come out, and turned out you could fix the building, and it created a problem with the whole court process. We got it settled and it ended up fine. But to eliminate that, I now recommend strongly that we get that engineer first.
You want that horse in front of the cart,
I
right?
would prefer that. That makes my job easier and less court costs.
Is the structure's capabilities right now, is it a public safety issue? You say it's separating the parapet wall.
Yeah,
Could it fall down on someone trying to climb in?
Well, it's more the front is
What
the
I'm
major
saying,
problem.
if it's got safety issues, should we not perhaps use that as to our advantage and cordon off the area?
well, we've tried, I mean, we did that for a while, and then the street department needed what we had so it all got removed. I think there might be some yellow tape down there, but I don't think there's anything that, and, because we were concerned about the wall peeling off.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons why I had started to make contact with the property owner in Florida, and I thought that we were marching in the right direction. And then there was when Dad passed away, he left it to both son and daughter. Well, then the son passed away, and then that caused an issue because then
I remember.
the son's children get engaged, and then now it became a family squabble. I mean, I can tell you all about it. I was been about 7 months on this, trying to get things moving, and I thought that we were moving in the right direction, and then you had a family member go, well, I want to get in on this, because she, I guess, thought maybe, anyway. But it's been a challenge, but I think now it's time for it not to be a challenge, and we try to get one way or another, get it down. The building is in sad shape. The back of it is in sad shape. It's got a lot of cracks in the wall. There's actually a separation going on back there, as you can see some. I want to call it, what the roofing is starting to peel off of the top a little bit. So now it's exposing wood from that the roof usually sits on, and so I mean there's a lot. I'm going to guess that when they get through looking at it, it's probably going to be condemnable. But you know, I'm not that guy, so we'll try to make sure that what it is. But
Well, my personal opinion, if you're going to have to go to an engineering firm, whether it be KJG or Thunderbird or whomever, then we need to do that. Do they need to have more than one? Just one's good enough. And I know KJG, we have used him in the schools numerous times
yeah,
and have a lot of confidence in what he
well, he's a hot dog Hall of Famer, so
Yeah,
we're-
well, not holding that against him. No, I mean, and I think they would act very quickly to get somebody over here to get that to.
Yeah, they did for us on Barner Street, and I would guess the same thing. I will make the call on Monday, maybe tomorrow, to see how quickly we can try to get in. Like I said, I do have access to the front door, the combination to get in, and I've been in the building. I went in the building with the gentleman that helps us with ADA, just to look things over, and because when we went into looking at tearing down the building, it's a common wall, and we wanted to make sure that if we tore the building down, does that common wall come down? And the answer was no, it needs to stay up. And so that part that I do know of, but I just want to make sure that it's one way or the other.
Like I say, just my personal opinion, I think a phone call tomorrow to KJG is a well-placed phone call.
I have a sale, so it'll be a quick one, so.
Well, in the interest of getting this done, I'll make a motion that we appropriate up to $1,000 for an engineering firm to look at that building.
I'll second.
Have a motion, a second, to hire a engineering firm for up to $1,000. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Don, you have your money.
Thank you.
Any other old business from anybody?
Real quick, I looked up the regulations on the lights for crosswalks. You do not have to have lights, you do have to have pedestrian crossing signs.
Okay.
So we don't have to put flashing lights up, but you can if you want to.
I just think in that one facility or area for the one especially, we need something over there, so.
I think lights would be a great idea.
Yeah.
Have we had any issues during our
I don't have any idea
festivals
what they cost.
with people almost being hit by cars or that you're aware of?
They dart out usually.
There's close calls.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just wondered.
yeah.
Thank
So, I think it's our responsibility since we built the park.
I agree.
You know, to be due diligence for the people that go to the park, so. Okay, anybody got anything else? Call the meeting adjourned. Thanks, everybody, for coming.